Yo, guys, it's Old Man G here back again with another a bit of a late match reaction. A 10 o'clock show for the Manchester United versus Everton. Before we get into it, guys, if you are new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, and smash that notification button for latest Manchester United news and more. And guys, you can see why I'm doing these later and later and later. Aside from the fact that I'm quite busy, these are difficult watches. These are very, 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 very difficult watches for Manchester United. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Shout out those guys be watching the stream, but it's in the title. Penchester United returns. We got two penalties. In fairness, we probably should have gotten more than two penalties. I think those were two handballs. I don't know why they weren't given. I think maybe the referees thought, it's that we've already given two penalties away. We shouldn't give any more penalties. But for me, they were penalties. They should have been given as penalties. I don't really understand why they weren't given as penalties, but it is what it is. But we got the dub, so I'm happy we got the dub. I don't think you can have any real complaints about the performance. But perfectly honest, we play like a team that doesn't really have any form of identity. It doesn't have any form of identity or purpose. It's looking like a manager that's on borrowed time. And I appreciate obviously the injuries. I think that's a big thing, and I don't know how many times I've said it again. I said it this season. We're not in a worse position than we are thanks to our defense. Our defense is the main reason as to why Manchester United are not currently a lot lower in the table. Because if you look at the league table, you look at Onana, who actually has, I think, more clean sheets than I think Alisson and Enzo Martinez. Considering what Liverpool and Villa are. The defense, Johnny Evans today, solid. Varane, solid. But our attackers, that's our attacking, our creativity. That is where, Scott McTominay is our number 10 effectively. Scott McTominay is supposed to be our number 10. And what exactly is he doing? What can someone tell me what exactly Scott McTominay is doing in this Manchester United side? But I don't want to be completely negative, because we got the win, got 2 points, but obviously Villa and Spurs are going to be playing tomorrow. We're obviously 3 points behind Villa, but obviously they played 2 games. I mean, you're looking at this and you're thinking, man, had we beaten Fulham and Bournemouth was at home, then, we're potentially in 5th place. We're close to Villa. We're not going to get Champions League football. It's not because we lost to City or because we dropped points against Liverpool. It's because we dropped points against. We should have beaten Palace when they came to Old Trafford. We did. We should have beaten Bournemouth when they came to Old Trafford. I don't think we did. We should have beaten Fulham. So people thinking that somehow we're going to have a chance when Liverpool and Arsenal come to Old Trafford, you guys are out of your mind. I don't know how with this current squad right now that we're, if I'm honest, as much as I want to secure top 4, as much as I want 5th, we'll be lucky if we stay in the Europa League spot, given the fixtures that we have left and given the bare bones squad that we have. We just are not playing well, and we need to see what happens. RSV, man, big up you, man. Big up in the chat, man. Good to see you in the chat, buddy, man. Appreciate it. Are you Eric Ten Hag in? It's difficult for 2 reasons. The first thing is that I do accept the rationale of the fact that we have injuries, and Lisandro Martinez is a massive loss. He's a massive loss because already when Leacher plays, I can see how the fact that we can link the defense in the midfield. We have an extra midfielder. We could just seem to have much more control and more protective there. So Lisandro is a loss. That's the first thing. We play a lot better when he's in the team. So that's a big miss. We'd have 0 fullbacks, and he was advised by the medical team for some reason that Malacia and Luke Shaw are going to be both be available, so no need for Reguilon. Malacia didn't come back, and Luke Shaw's been out injured again. So we're basically weaker. And I was trying to tell people this: we're weaker now than we were in January. People are spending so much time talking about X, Y, and Z, and no one seems to really appreciate the fact that why or criticize as to why we didn't strengthen in January. We didn't strengthen. We didn't strengthen at all. You know, you need a striker, you need at least a fullback, maybe additional midfielder. We didn't, a centre back, we didn't strengthen whatsoever, and we're relying on a 35 of Johnny Evans. That's Manchester United 20. So yes, I blame him, but at the same time, I'm also kind of thinking, why is it then 2024 are Manchester United relying on a 35-year-old Johnny Evans to basically bail them out? You know, that is upper management, and I'm hoping when Ineos take over properly and take over recruitment stuff, and some of that changes. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. You know, I don't know at this point. All I do know is that, you know, despite having a disaster class of a season, you're still in sixth place, and you're still a few points off. You know, off fifth, which hopefully will secure Champions League football this season. I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, Spurs play Villa. So whoever plays, to be honest, I'd rather Villa beat Spurs, because if Villa beat Spurs, their game in hand is against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, which I know Chelsea will help us with that in terms of at Stamford Bridge, I think it is. So Chelsea are not going to, well, they're going to try not to lose to Villa at Stamford Bridge. Their fans won't allow them, regardless. They hate Spurs. So for me, you know, you take that into account, and Villa win, you know, then we're only 3 points behind them. You know, I mean, we should have beaten them at Old Trafford, to be quite frank. We had so many. It's just frustrating. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that we've got a chance against Spurs, but it's a glim chance, because the difference between Spurs United right now is Spurs are playing decent football. United aren't. How some of these players are professional or something like this beyond me. I think it's best to give it a some of us we've done to what we're thinking about sacking Ten Hag. To be honest, the biggest thing for me is we need to not give out new contracts, and we need to sort out the wage bill. We need to sort out the wage bill, because the idea that we should be putting, no one should be on more than 250k a week unless they've been a long servant at the club, like say maybe De Gea, because he was here for a decade. But that's it. We shouldn't be have anyone higher on that. We shouldn't. In my personal opinion, we shouldn't. Because that messes things up. Big up Manny, man. Hope you're doing well. Big up, man. Big up yourself. Thank you, Van. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you in the chat. Hasha, he's Eric Ten Hag out, man. I'm to be honest, I'm just indifferent at this point. I hope we get Champions League football, but I'm very much indifferent. My worry, to be honest, is not so much Eric Ten Hag. It's like who comes to replace him. I know a lot of people don't care about that. But when I'm hearing Graham Potter, when I'm hearing Gareth Southgate, then suddenly it's like, I'd rather stick with Eric Ten Hag. I'll be honest. If like I'm not hearing the Sporting Lisbon, was it the Porto? I can't remember, one of the two that's looking good. I'm not hearing Xabi Alonso. I'm not hearing Nagelsmann. I'm not hearing these people. I'm hearing De Zerbi, Potter, and Southgate. So if those three are the options, which is what I'm hearing, I'll probably stick with Eric Ten Hag. I'll be honest. I don't think De Zerbi has been that great. I think he's actually been massively overhyped personally. So you know, Southgate would be worse than Eric Ten Hag. Trust me, he would be worse. But overall, yeah, I think that I look at this game and I just think, man, I just struggle to watch. Yeah, that's what I mean. Aaron that's what I'm saying. So yeah, I wouldn't mind him, but the point is, I'm not hearing that name being passed around. I'm not hearing him. I'm not hearing Nagelsmann. I'm not hearing these names. I'm hearing De Zerbi, Potter, and Southgate. Now that could all be rumor, that could all be fluff, but those are the names that I keep on hearing. So if you're telling me Do I want to get rid of Emma take Hag and I have to choose between Potter, De Zerbi, and Gareth Southgate? I'll just say we just might as well stick with Ten Hag. You know, I Southgate would be worse. Could Graham Potter do a job? Possibly, but it's a risk given what happened at Chelsea. And then you're back to square one. And then De Zerbi, like I said, I think is overrated, and I think needs a structure as well. Yeah. So you don't want De Zerbi because a Potter. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Hansi Flick. No, I think Hansi Flick. I think Hansi Flick would be Hansi Flick would be another Nagelsmann in the sense that I don't know. I wouldn't be adverse to it, but he's been out for a work for a bit, and also he's been to national teams. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Yes. Now this I could get behind. Inzaghi, Simone Inzaghi. I could get behind this. Inzaghi's doing is doing work with Inter Milan, and they're playing really good football. Simone Inzaghi, I think I could get behind that. Him and the Sporting Lisbon manager, I think I'd have those two over Flick and the others. But yeah, I could definitely get behind Inzaghi, man, to be honest. I think you guys need to not reset put unless you're bringing in some experience. But I mean, the project is going to be reset anyway, because this project was started by the Glazers. Now that Ineos are coming in, we're effectively going for a reset anyway, because come the summer, a lot of players, the theory is anyway, that a lot of players are going to be sold. The wage structure is going to be changed. Obviously we're going to be going for certain players and buyers, etc. So, the structure at Manchester United is changing. It's going to change, and I think there'll be a lot of players who are not. Marshall is gone. I imagine they'll try and get rid of the sell like some McTominay, Maguire, potentially, I don't know, and so on. This summer there's going to be I would imagine it's going to be massive change in Manchester. There has to be. If you're bringing in the Omar guy from City, you're bringing in garnacho, you're bringing all these people to revolutionize the recruitment at Manchester United. There has to be change. There has to be. That's what I think anyway. But anyway, going back to the game. Thanks so much for tuning in, by the way. I really appreciate it. But yeah, this game it wasn't it. It wasn't it. But I'm happy that we won at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, my weekend's not resolved. My weekend is not ruined, and I can wait till Monday to laugh at Chelsea. I can actually relax. It's annoying that we're not United on a title race, but hey, look, you can watch Liverpool play City. I mean, I'll be honest, out the worst of two evils, I want Arsenal to win the league. One, because my brother is an Arsenal fan, but two, because if Arsenal win the league, it stops City from getting 4 in a row, and it stops Liverpool from equaling our 20 times. And as soon as Klopp goes, that's it for me, Liverpool as a football club. But let's have a look. RSV says, also, since you do speak to Tom Jones, I'm just wondering, even though anything else one does Joe have also, yeah, I wanted to try and get a show done with Tom at some point. I just really been busy, and he's been on vacation, but we did want to have a proper Glazers thingy show at some point to do. And I'll try and get something like that done. I just need the time, not time to do it, but hopefully we'll get something like that done for clarity. Maybe in the summer, or maybe next week, when I think it's just FA Cup next week, I think, isn't it? Oh, fair enough. I was worried you guys were just going to go for another similar circuit game. No, I think it's, like I said, it was, because it's similar to, but not completely similar to, what happened with Chelsea when Bowley took over. At the end of the day, now you've got a completely different head of recruitment. Whatever happens, I think change is going to happen. And like I said, to a certain extent, Ten Hag is on is on watch, because he's being performance reviewed. And I strongly think that if Ten Hag doesn't get Champions League football, he's probably going to be sacked. Because they'll think he hasn't got Champions League football, he's not going to be sacked. Like, they'll think of it this way: he's not got Champions League football. The players, maybe they don't like him. So what's the point in continuing with this manager? Why don't we just get a new manager who can begin our rebuild, our new process, etc.? That's what they'll do. That's what they'll do. Whereas if he gets Champions League, then they might say, okay, he got us Champions League, he's got us some money. Let's just give him like a bit more time and see what happens. That's probably what they would do. So if he doesn't get Champions League, he probably is gone, I think. We need Newcastle to drop points of those. I mean, while that is true, I just want to see Chelsea getting cooked. Gives me life. It really does. Seeing Chelsea get cooked all the time, it gives me life. And also, I just don't see it happening because Chelsea are crap. Newcastle are closing the gap on us, but I mean, I don't think Newcastle are going to be getting top 4, top 5. I don't think. I think they'll drop too many points. The question will just be, do you want Europa League? From a financial point of view, Manchester United probably need to have some European football. So, Europa League or Europa Conference League, I'd rather play in Europa League, to be honest. It is what it is. Lucky Big Up says, Rasmus Højlund, Mount, glad, massive back. Is Mason Mount back? I don't think Mount, I mean, as far as I'm concerned with Mount, I mean, I think the only thing I can say with Mount is that because Bruno's been so crap, you could probably replace Mount with Bruno. Maybe he might play better. I don't know. But he's been injured and he's been out. As far as I'm saying, it's 60 million down the drain so far. Højlund, on the other hand, has been a massive miss. It's been a massive miss. Massive, massive miss, Højlund. And then HJ is going to cook United. Chelsea the biggest. I mean, he still will cook. He still will cook. He still will cook Manchester United. It's just that it gives me life when Chelsea lose. It really does. Right, let's go to the player ratings, guys. Big up the United stand as always for the ratings. So let's scroll downy. Right, and obviously get involved in the chat, guys. Player ratings as well. Let me know what you think. Oh, no. What I will say is every keeper, not every keeper, but like just Michael, like today, started poorly at Manchester United and grew. I think Onana will get better. And I think that, and I saw a stat on Twitter saying that Manchester United have faced the most shots on their, second most shots on their goal. I think Sheffield United is first, and then Manchester United have faced the second most shots in the league. So yes, I know people say, oh, Onana should save it. He should save. He should do this. He should do. Yeah, I get that, but it's also responsibility of the team to stop shots being shot at our keeper, because if we're gonna have tons of shots at the keeper, at some point they're going to go in. So we need to stop. And I think he had a solid game today, but I think we need to stop. I think he's got more clean sheets than Alisson, or Alisson's been injured, to be fair. And Martinez. But my point is, we need to stop. Like, even against Everton today, how many shots on our goal? Like, we need to stop somehow, just reduce the chances created by other teams. It's getting ridiculous. And like I said, I feel for Onana, because it's like, if he makes a mistake or he misses it, oh, it's Onana, but no one thinks, hang on a minute, why have we let that? It's like when we let against Wolves, when Wolves scored the equaliser before Mainu cooked, Anthony loses the ball, doesn't track back, and then somehow it's in the back of the net, it goes through thing. And I was like, oh, no, I should say, I was like, no, why the hell did we lose the ball in that phase and create another chance for another team? We need to stop that. We need to stop that, man. But yeah, I give Onana a 7. Okay, it's close. So let me know what you think in the chat as well. Dallo, Mr. Consistent. Mr. Consistent Dallo. Mr. Consistent. Mr. Consistent. In fact, In fact, let me put up a poll. I should probably put up a poll. Let me put up a poll. Who was your man of the match? Let me put up a poll. And I put it in the community tab as well after the stream. So that's Dallo. I'll put in the goal scorers. Varane. And then who else? Oh, Garnacho, obviously. So who's your man of the match? Dallo, Evans, Varane, or Garnacho? I'm putting the poll in the chat, so let me know. But yeah, for me, Dallo, another solid 7, man. Listen, I sometimes think these ratings are important, and you need to take context into account. Dallo is our only fit fullback. He's been consistent for most of the season, and he's been available. So when people go in on him, or people say, "Oh, so we need to get better," it's like, okay, fine. But the most important trait is availability. All of our fullbacks, we don't even talk about Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's been injured for a while now as well. When is he coming back? Wan-Bissaka's out. Shaw's gone. Malassia's gone. We let Reguilon go back. He is literally only fullback. It's ridiculous. So, for what he's done and how solid he's been, and the fact that he constantly has to play, because he clearly needs rotated, rested, which we can't. He's 7. Varane, yeah, I'll give a 7 as well. Solid performance again. I think the irony is that Varane and that's a good question, man. Aaron Van, I was thinking you said talking about Donny van der Beek. I was thinking maybe we shouldn't have let him go either, but there you go. Ironically enough, the partnership between Varane and Evans that's basically been our most played partnership. If you think about it, it has, because Maguire has also been picking up injuries now. What's his name? Martinez out of injury again. Lindelof is basically been shoved over to play as a fullback. So our most played fullback pairing has been this season been Varane and Johnny Evans. Who would have thought? But at the same time, experience, leadership. Maybe that's what we need in a defensive area, and that's what we have. So I'm going to give, for me, Johnny Evans is potentially my man of the match. I'm going to give him an 8. Potentially my man of the match. People at 7.1. For me, he's 35. He's older than his shirt number, and somehow he's providing us with some sort of stability here. It's insane. It's insane what he's doing. And even though I feel United should have got, maybe Todibo, obviously Kim and Jade have been good, etc. At the end of the day, you do think, imagine if we hadn't got Johnny Evans on a loan. If we're just like, yeah, but it's fine because, okay, yes, Lisandro's out, but we still have Maguire, we still have Evans, we still have Luke Shaw, who can play the cover centre back. We still have Varane. We'll be okay. Because that's the mindset we had at fullback. We've got enough centre backs. We'll be okay. And we didn't get him. I don't know who would be playing. We'd probably be playing Lindelof with Varane, and then maybe you'd probably have to put Amrabat as a fullback. And I don't want to see that again. Lindelof, I'm going to give him a 6. It's not his fault. He's not a left back. He's not a fullback. He's slow. His passing is, but he's doing the job, and that's it. So I'm not going to go in on him personally. I'm going to go in on this guy though. 5, Casemiro, man. That first half was garbage. I almost feel like Casemiro is getting into potentially getting to this somber Brazilian phase. His somber Brazilian phase. That's what it feels like with Casemiro, because it's just he, like Bruno, are not playing well. And considering that Mainu here, I'll probably give Mainu a 6, I think. Yeah. He's better, but you know, we need the experience. Mainu was a player who I feel like can, you know, excel, but it's difficult. It's difficult, I think, when you have a player that's just underperforming. He played better in the second half, I agree, but Casemiro needs to be better. Mainu, you know, youngster, I think average game, not really noticeable. So, but again, he's a young player. So Bruno scored the penalty. I'll give him a 7. I'll give Bruno a 7. That's 7, 6 or 7. Because he scored the penalty. Did he do much else? I don't know. Yeah, you know what? 6. He's the captain, actually. Yeah. No. He's the captain. He gets a 6. He gets a 6. Big up Lucky Singh in the chat. He gets a 6 for me. He gets a 6. He gets a 6. He could do a lot better than it was certainly one of his better performances today, but this is given the fact that in the context of the last couple of games, he's been awful and arguably one of our worst players. So if he can at least have this performance and build from it, then fair enough. But he's not been good. McTominay. Moving on. Garnacho. I'll give Garnacho an 8 today. Garnacho for me, he got us the penalties. He got us the penalties. Potentially, we could have even had a few pens of the handball. He got us those penalties. He was dribbling. This was one of Garnacho's better games today, to be honest. So if it had to be man of match, it'd be between Garnacho and Evans. I only give it to Evans just because he's a veteran, basically. That's the only reason why I give it to Johnny Evans, in my personal opinion. Rashford, let's give him a 6 as well. So similar to Bruno, I think. You know, average to below average. Rashford's it's just not good, and I think this is what happens. I mean, this is why guys don't drink, man. You'll realize that when you get into your 25th, mid to late 20s, if you're not taking care of your body, you're going to lose pace. You're not going to be. Ronaldo entered his peak when he was probably in his late 20s, early 30s, 28 to like 35, 34. English players, because they love to drink, it causes problems. Like, I advise anyone, don't drink. You'll have more longevity. Just ask James Milner. Eric Ten Hag, he got the dub today. I'll give him a 6. We're still not playing particularly good football, but it is what it is. We just got to move and then take things from there. So yeah, for me, man of the match is probably between Garnacho and Evans, and I give Johnny Evans the man of the match, man. I give Johnny Evans the man of the match. I wonder what the other. I know these guys came on, but I'm not going to rate our substitutes because they really didn't do much. But yeah, man of the match for me, Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you're channel to go into like, subscribe to Red Devil Studio. We probably will be doing a watch along for the Liverpool game versus United FA Cup game. It's going to be big. And hopefully I will try and get Tom on so we can do a proper breakdown of this whole Ineos to Jim sort of situation. Have a nice day, everyone. And cheers. Peace.